What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to a game called Hearthlands. My name is Splattercat, very happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and check out a cool little civilization builder that I've been playing around with over the course of the last weekend or so. If you haven't seen it, I think this one kind of snuck through people's radars. I really sincerely think that it did, but it's a fun little civilization game, and so if you enjoyed city clickers or you like Anno or anything like that, this might be a game that's barking up the proper tree. If you like Civilization, it might be a game that's barking, not the game Civilization, I mean Civilization as a whole. Now, I know that when you're stuck in traffic on the 80 and you can't go anywhere and you're doing like 4 miles an hour, yes, Civilization seems like it sucks, but then when you're eating a bomb-ass burrito at 1 in the morning before you go see a movie at 3 in the morning, you're like, yeah, Civilization is okay. So let's start a new game. I'm going to go with a custom game here. I've already done all this. We're going to call it Button Baber. Oh, man, it moved around all my stuff. Ooh, that one has a boat on it, though, and that one has a frog. I don't know if I want a frog. What do we want on our little... We got to have something... Yeah, a raven. See, that seems pretty sick, and then we'll make it like a brown raven. There we go. Maybe not a brown raven. What else is there? There's a Skull King thing. Ooh, there's also a cool eagle, or like a hawk or something. Let's do that one right there. Buttonberry is the name of our town. I actually picked that before we started doing this, so that's cool. That wasn't one of the default names. We get to choose if we want to be a Westerner, an Easterner. Let's go with a Westerner. I don't know, the West Coast. And then I've named my leader Billiam Fosworthy III, the Cramping, so that he has a title, the Cramped Up. And he's got an old-ass man beard because he's going to be an old-ass man leaving our civilization behind. And then we've got to decide what we want here for our city. I've put it on medium, and the number of rivals, 9. That seems like an exorbitant number of rivals. I don't know how I feel about that. How come the difficulty goes up when you have less rivals? Wouldn't it go down when you have less rivals? I don't know. Natural resources are normal. NPCs, neutral only, okay. We can have passive rivals. Special locations like evil fortresses and dragons' lairs. Elementals sound pretty good. We have sewers. That seems pretty awesome. We've also got thieves and burglars that spawn when you have unemployment. And then we've also got plague. Hell yeah, this all sounds good. Let's kill off a civilization.
I'm happy to report, Your Majesty.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Pilgrim Lady? Oh, what a lovely location that is, my lord. I suggest we start building our city right here. All right, Pilgrim Lady. Sounds good to me, although it seems a little watery around here. What is this? Is this like a goblin village? What is this? Ooh, it's a goblin hut. Dude, we can fight with goblins. We can get into a war with the Greenskin Horde. So we've got mushrooms over here. We got some trees. What is this right here? It's a witch hut. What does a witch hut do? I'm a little concerned about this witch hut business. If there's witchy magics going on, I don't know how I feel about that. Witch magics? Those magics. So we'll start with a road. Everything in this game needs to be attached to a road, and if it ain't attached to a road, well, people get all hurt in their booty. And so, not hurt in Djibouti. Nobody in Djibouti is getting hurt today, all right? I can't control that, so if somebody gets hurt in Djibouti today, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. We'll put, like, a house right here. We need population first. So let's go with our first little thoroughfare. And we've done that by building a road and then clicking on this little house icon right here so we can build some stuff. We've got squads, okay, we've got quests, or requests. Those are quests that have been slightly recycled. Stocks, okay, so we can do a little bit of insider trading, move those indexes, shift those margins, calculate some money markets or something. I don't know what else we can do here. I've played the tutorial, so I know what I'm doing, and I've built like 1 or 2 things here, but I know I need houses first. So let's get this moving so that the city is like doing its thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have one road go out this way, and this area is going to be like our agricultural center over here, because actually at the core of it, this is a game about distribution and making sure the people in your town have access to the things that you make for them. We're also going to need some farms, and so in order to get farms, I'm going to start putting down some scarecrows, because actually things in this game like crows and ravens can eat a lot of your stuff. And so there we go. We got some scarecrows out. I think those are properly spaced. I don't know. Then we're going to need some turnip plots. Now, these cover, like, I think a 4x4. Oh, shit. I messed up right there. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It don't matter none. My pocket's still getting fatter, for I am Billiam Farnsworthy, the Cramping. And so there's that, and then we can also go to right there. I probably could have done that all at once, and then we need farmers who can, like, make this happen. So I'm going to put a grower's lodge right there, a grower's lodge right there, and a grower's lodge right there so that they can work this field. And then we just got to wait for immigrants to show up. So there we go. Little people are going to start to filter in and be like, "Ooh, this house looks super lovely. Can I live here, me lord?" And we'll be like, "Yes, you can totally live." What is that, a night grail? Ooh, we found a golden pimp cup laying on the ground. Now, you'll note that these little buildings have like a bread icon above them. that means that they need food, otherwise life is not good. And so the thing that we need to get right now while they're growing our turnips is we need to come up with a distribution network. It starts with a storage yard. And so I'll put in 2 storage yards right there. And then it ends with a peddler's tent. The peddler is the guy that takes the things you need to all of the houses in your area. And so these peddlers should be able to get stuff to these houses right here. I'm going to make this a thoroughfare. So this is going to go all the way down by the water. Somebody can go live out in the swamp. It's my swamp. That's not an accent that I've ever worked on. You know, I instantly did that and I regretted it. It's my swamp. I've never done that accent before, so it's just like, I started with it, and then by the time I was like halfway in, I was like, well, that was a mistake. I'm also going to make room for a road right there. I'm going to make way. We don't have enough workers. That's fine. We get that by having more houses. And so I'm going to keep that going out that way, although not so close as to go near the witch hut. The witch hut is scary. And we just pretend like it doesn't exist. We just don't go over there. And so we've already spent about $8,000. We got $75,000 in our budget. Hopefully we can get enough workers to make all this pan out. And it looks like the turnips are coming in nice and lovely. Now, one thing you can say about this game is it is a bit of a relaxing game. It's a relaxation game. Don't expect anything to happen quickly in this game. Even on 3 times speed, I've noticed that sometimes it takes a while for stuff to happen. We have a new trade route. I just wanted to inform you that Tatton, the Cruel of Whitberry, would like to buy a grade from us, my lord. A new trade route is available. Okay, well, I don't even have, like, you know, the slightest inkling that I'm going to be able to do that yet. Each of these houses needs a thing. And so while we're waiting for our turnips to grow, if you give them bread, it will upgrade to level 2. Then they'll need bread, medicine, and alcohol. It'll upgrade to level 3. It very much functions in the same way. If you've ever played any of the Anno games, it's a lot like that. They need certain things in the area before they will self-upgrade. And when they self-upgrade, that's when they gain the ability to, like, have more people live inside of them, and you get more bang for your buck as far as residences go. Now, other things we probably want to be concerned about right now. I need to get medicine, so I'm going to go out by the witch's hut, even though I think this might be a bad plan. And then what I'm going to do is, the mushrooms are a long ways away. That's a little bit concerning. So I'm going to need a new distribution center right here. And so I'll put that right there. And then I'll put in another peddler's tent right there, just to make sure everybody can get access to mushrooms. And then because we spend all of our time shrooming up in here. And then as far as farming goes, we can have an oast house. I have no clue what that word even remotely means. What is an oast? Is it an oast that's the most? Food industry, don't really need that right now. Husbandry, don't really need that right now. Beautification. Industry, that's what I'm looking for. So we need, let's see here, a weaver's shop, clothier's shop, herbalist shop. Yeah. I think we'll need, oh, we can't actually build inside that radius. Brutal, because we need those mushrooms, like, right now. Well, I'm still going to put one right there, and then what I'm going to do is I have a workaround for this. I have a workaround. Splat's got a trick. Alright, so then what I can do is if we go to our industry menu, I can put in a forester, I think. So there's the herbalist shop, a pillow maker's shop. That's weirdly specific. Carpenter's shop, a sawmill. Raw materials. There we go. We can go with a forester's lodge. Perfect. So I'll take a forester, a forester, a forester, and a forester. And we need more people to live here. So I'm going to build a few more houses while I'm at it, too. And, you know, I'm just going to space these out. I'm not going to make them, like, super neat and orderly, because towns aren't neat and orderly unless you live, like, in the United States, and then we build everything like squares. In case you were wondering about that, in most, like, ancient countries, cities just kind of follow the bend of a river or, like, the swirl of wherever the original castle was, stuff like that, and then they just kind of flow all over the place. And so I'm going to try and emulate that here. I talked about it briefly in one of my other series. I can't remember which one. We should get immigrants that move in there pretty quickly. Now, these foresters can do different things. They can plant trees and they can plant mushrooms. I'm going to have them do that because we're going to need to create, like, an area over here that we can manufacture all the stuff we need for the production of medicine. And there aren't enough trees right now. Like, I can put in a woodcutter's lodge, but I can't guarantee it's going to go well. So with 2 woodcutter's lodges, they're going to go chop down some trees, but they're going to deplete their trees pretty quickly, which is why I put these guys out here to plant some more. Hopefully those foresters will get to work and do their thing. I think the next thing that we're going to need in order to make this all function is I think we're going to need access to... We've got lots of food. I think we're going to need alcohol. I think we're going to need beer. That looks like the next thing that's going to need to happen. And so in order to keep all of my production lines somewhat near each other, I am going to take a road, and we're going to extend out this way. Then what I will consider doing is I think I'm going to... Let's split these real fast. Half you guys plant mushrooms, half you guys plant trees. Just to make sure that our labor force is properly operating. There we go. So that's good. And then the next thing that I was going to need is alcohol. So we've got a beer brewery right there. Farming, I think we can make... Ooh, we may not have access to the thing that we need. And so if we don't have vineyards, we're going to have to figure this out the rough way. So in the one that I played before, my culture was able to make vineyards, which allowed me to basically get instant alcohol. I can't get instant alcohol anymore, so this is a little bit concerning. Can he reach that bottom house down there? He can, good. Cotton plot, scarecrow, grain plot, yeah. So my alcohol menu before had a vineyard right here, which was basically like the easy mode way of doing it. We need a load of grain, a load of hops, a load of logs, and a load of water. Okay, so for raw materials, do we have somebody whose job it is just to go get water? Ah, on this side we have a well. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we have a well right there. You could say that our society is well-rounded. We've got plenty of food, so people are getting food deliveries. These should all jump up to level 2. You can tell because the roofs, they don't have holes in the sides of the walls anymore. What do they want? Just wanted to inform you that Payward the Polite of Pointberry would like to sell flour to us, my lord. The trade route is available. Okay, I don't need flour right now. What I need to do is get down on some of this hops farming. And so I'm going to put in scarecrows first. We'll put in a scarecrow right there. And if he's got that right there, that should be good enough. And then what we'll do is we'll put in hops plots over here. There we go. Hops plots are done. We also need grain plots are going to be the next part. And so I would assume if I've got room for like a road back up in here, I would like to use that. Do I have room for a road right there? I do. Goody. So let's take a road right there, and we'll just encompass this area. And then what we'll do is we'll just continue exactly what we were doing before, which is plopping down a scarecrow. Plopping down a scarecrow. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And on this side, we'll go into some grain production. Yeah, looks solid to me. And now that we've got grain production, I don't know exactly who... Oh, we just need growers' lodges. Okay. So I'll put another growers' lodge right there. Another growers' lodge right there and right there so that they can get moving. This is basically going to be our farming community out here so that, like, everybody that's in the area can get this stuff done. I'm going to need more growers to the south, though, too. Growers. Also showers, because when you show up for work, it shows initiative, and I like that. So we'll go with a few more growers' huts over here. Taxes were not collected. Why were they not collected? I can't help but notice that we collect much less taxes than we could, my lord. Unless this is deliberate, we should probably have more tax collectors. Well, I mean, we could have tax collectors, but we're not having money problems yet, and so until we're running like a horrible deficit, can you get... So who is it that will get the Oast House? Ah, that's who does it. That's who done it, and Oast House does it. Okay, so we've got the Oast House right there. Maybe I'll build another one? I don't know how many Oast Houses I need in order to harvest grain properly. I'll go with 2, just in case. That's a beer brewery. That actually works too. I'm okay with the beer brewery. I actually didn't mean to build that right there, but you know what? I can live with it. We'll go with an Oast House right there, and basically the civic part of our town is going to go this way, where people will live, and this side is going to be like the agricultural side, although that will bite us in the ass later on, because like I said, distribution networks. If you like games about distribution networks, this is your game. This is the game that's really going to wet your willy. Your willy is going to be so wet. Like, seriously, it is. I will take a road through here. Oh, it went around a tree. That's unfortunate. I don't want my road to go around a tree. I want my road to go quite straight. Ah, there's a thing in the way. Never mind. We can't do that then. Well, then I will just go... Oh, those little plant things are in the way. That's a bummer. Damn trees growing all over the place. All right. This is what happens when you invite foresters over. Damned foresters, planting their trees all willy-nilly and haphazard. Alright, so we got no more room right there. I'm going to suggest we put in a house over here before the growers insist on screwing us over more with their wanton destruction of my empty space. I can also put a house right there, although that might be outside distribution networks. Nope, he's still in it, just barely. Just barely inside of it. Good. Glad to see that. I can also put a forester's lodge down in here. They're growing some trees and doing their thing over here. Might not need these buildings anymore. I may have made a mistake over here. So you know what? Let's get rid of a couple of foresters' lodges. I'm sorry, I wanted to get rid of that right there. There we go. I destroyed things that I probably shouldn't have, but it shouldn't matter. I don't think. Raw materials. We'll go for a woodcutter's lodge down here, in fact, because this is a very fertile area for chopping de Vuda. And there it is. Chop de Vuda. Chop de Vuda like crazy until we can have alcohol and liquor. So he's got 7 out of 8. He's got 7 out of 8. We still need more houses. Alright, I can live with that. I'll probably put in like another peddler's thing right here. Because the peddler's thing will be in range of that. I mean, he'll have a long trip in front of him, but I think for distribution-wise, it'll be okay. So we'll go with a peddler's tent right here to continue moving shit around, man. You gotta have your teamsters. You gotta have your teamsters, or you can't make it. Did these houses just devolve? No, due to a lack of food. So there's not enough food right now. You guys aren't... Farm turnips better, you little bastards. Farm turnips better or die. Alright, well, maybe we'll make like another little farm down here, too. Maybe just one. So we've got a scarecrow right here. I will probably do the same thing I always do. And try to get 3 of them. There we go. And so we'll go for another turnip plot on this side. What the turnips are plotting, nobody really knows. But we all know they're up to something, okay? The turnips are up to something. And if they're not, they certainly look guilty enough. We're going to build a road out this way. And give me another set of farmers. The more farmers I can have, the better. 2 farmers aren't really going to get the job done over there. So we have people that are okay with their food quantity, and we have people that are definitely suffering. Grower's Lodge. Alright, that's looking good. Over on this side, we might be able to do something if it wasn't for that witchy woman hut. Let's make another little area down here that's going to be good for farming. I know I said this was going to be like a civic area, but we can barely feed people for right now, so I think it's best that we focus on food. And so we'll go 1 right there. Scarecrows. Scarecrows and the lightning. Scarecrows. There we go. So scarecrows and the lightning. And then something like that'll be lovely. We'll get a few more turnip plots. Get a few more like farmers down here, like doing their thing. I don't like how the house graphic doesn't change. It's just one of those things that bothers me. I like it in games where the graphic changes every single time you place a building, so that at least there's some feeling of there's some differential in between the things that you're doing. Like, I don't know, when I do 5 buildings in a row and they all look completely identical, it ruins the game for me on some level. It's like a bummer. Put in some more houses right there. And if I get really lucky, I can skeef one in on that side too. Maybe. Let me check and see. I can. Indeed, I can. So there we go. Don't ever tell me what I can or cannot do. We will kill that road off so that it's all nice and square. And we will let our little Sim City grow for a minute. We definitely need more workers. So until we get those, what is that? We have 312 people working here. Our workforce is 185, but we only have 224 jobs, so we absolutely need to have more workers, otherwise this is not going to go well for us. Finally, do I have an herbalist? Like, we have the herbalist right there, but I don't think we have an apothecary. So we'll probably want to get on that next. So as far as industry goes, the herbalist shop, they do that for 1 load of mushrooms. Oh, they produce medicine. Okay. And so if they produce medicine... We've got a marketplace. We've got, there it is, the apothecary. That's what I was looking for. That apothecary can basically hit everything in the area, and that'll start to give medicine to some of these outlying places that aren't doing quite so well. We've got lots of people ferrying stuff around, so that's good. Our food supply looks like it's bounced back slightly, and so hopefully some of the overstock that we have from the food will go to some of these buildings right here in the center, so that things will get better. The downside is that I've sort of planted things that are worrying. Like, I've built my city in a way where growing outwards is going to become difficult very soon. Now, if they've got this over here, this is all grain, correct? If we have grain, then my suggestion would be that we have a bakery. So we need a load of flour. All right. So let's get one of those that produces flour. 2 of those that produce flour. Screw it. And then we'll have a bakery over here. And then I also need... a well, which I think is in our... No, a plague strikes. There's nothing we can do to stop the disaster. I have an apothecary. Apothecary, deliver outwards. Deliver outwards the drugs. Bring forth the opiates of the masses. And then I'll put a well over here to make his life a little bit easier. And then I will consider taking this and moving it off this way. The apothecary only just got built, so he's not going to have time to, like, canvas everything. He's got 6.9 medicines. Well, it looks like they're getting better. Either that or they're dying in droves. It's one or the other. It's hard to tell sometimes. But either they're fine or they're dying. Somewhere in between. We've got a little bit of a Schrodinger's peasant thing going on. Either the peasant is alive or the peasant is dead. Until we look inside the cottage, we don't know. We don't know, Nerd Castle. How's our workforce looking? We have an 18 worker shortage right now. Well, my only other building space is going to be over here. So I will consider that for a minute. Until we hit that tree right there. But let's drop a few more houses. Are we actually, like, making money? Like, how is our budget report looking? So, construction and minting, we generated 304 taxes. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to raise the taxes. If we have infrastructure, ooh, we can have fortifications too. That's pretty sweet. I should probably build some of that too. We can also have military buildings. All right. You can have infrastructure, which is a town hall. You can build tax offices. Increases the appeal in a 6-tile radius. Well, if I can find a place for this, I think we'll be somewhat golden. What does that mean? This house cannot evolve until they get a furniture. Oh, really? All these houses just changed into, like, even newer, better, sexier houses. That's pretty sweet. Houses full of the sexiness. And it looks like our apothecary staved off the Doomfell inevitable, so that's good. But so far, I feel like our distribution network is solid. Our population should grow. Unemployment is pretty high at the moment, so we should probably expand out our industry. I'm going to do a town hall, like, somewhere. I don't know. Putting it at the center of town would seem to be the smartest idea to me. And so let's get rid of a couple of buildings, and then we'll go for a town hall, like right here. Will it fit? Okay, so I got to get rid of one more house. That's okay, because they're all evolving and doing their thing anyways. So town hall... there. And within a 6-tile radius, everybody should be a little bit happier right there. Or it should at least make the area a little bit, like, cuter and more awesome. I think one of our roads got broken by building that. My lord, the peasants think they can do anything these days. A bag of 2,400 gold has been stolen by a burglar right from our town hall. We should get a constabulary or put people to work. Okay, I could put people to work. We can do that. Let me slow down time. If I could slow down time. If I could find a way. Alright, so we'll build a road out this way. And we gotta put people to work. We gotta put people to work. Let's go with a woodcutter's lodge right here. Just a little something to get people working. So we got 3 new workers right there. They're gonna start chopping the trees. And then I'm gonna go to my storage industry right here. And we're gonna put in a storage plot right there. And then we'll put in a peddler's tent to right here, because I do plan on building some houses out here. And so we'll build a road right there, and we'll just make like a little country area over here. Although it is going to need its own food supply. So I would suggest that once again, we get down with the sickness of farming. I think that's 3 right there. Perfect. And then we'll go with a few more turnip fields right here. Looks about right to me. We'll put them to work right there. There we go. A little bit more going on. And then they'll have the stockpile and the peddler in order to get the things done that they need to build more houses. What's our unemployment right now? So our unemployment has actually gone down considerably just from this little expansion right here. Yeah, we don't have enough workers. Okay, good. Well, then I'll build some houses. How about that? Catch me outside. Oh, shit, I didn't want to do that. No! Alright, so we got that right there. Good. We are, however, losing money at the moment, so we'll probably want to watch out for that as a potential side effect of all the random construction and whatnot that we're doing. I'll put one right there, like a couple right here. There we go. Perfect. Maybe not perfect, but good enough for now. We'll wait for some more people to move in, and we've done a pretty good job in this episode. We got a pretty good job in this episode. If you like this game, it's called Hearthlands. pretty interesting little game. We haven't even gotten to like the military aspects or most of the industry aspects. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this game. There is a lot of things. And so if you're interested in checking it out, I'll always have a link for you down below. My name is Splattercat. I show off indie games every single day that I find to be pretty interesting. This game just came out of early access, so this is the release version right here. It did it without much of an explosion or much excitement, so I figured I'd show it off here at the channel, even though nobody's really been talking about it. It caught my eye, and usually that's good enough. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for stopping on in. If you like what I do, check out my Patreon. It's a great way to support me and make sure that I can keep a constant flow of indie games happening. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.